who's coming to this water salon. What a cool idea. Who are we? Well, the Water Salon is hosted by Dr. Everin Vanderkratz from the World Water Community, and myself, GINA BRIA from the Hydration Foundation. So you can already see there's a lot of serious water interest behind us, and we felt it was really important to start a community room that would allow us to listen about new things about water, to hear new things, to meet each other. So this room is literally a salon, and I'll tell you more about what a salon is in just a second, but I do want to pass the mic to Dr. Everin Vanderkratz to just explain a little bit about what the World Water Community is and what we're doing here. Everin.
Yeah. Thank you, Gina. You don't have to say doctor.
I love saying doctor. You earned it.
Okay. Well, the World Water Community is there for everybody who is concerned about water, from scientist to healer to entrepreneur, and we want to create a space for all of us to meet and to bring forward the solutions. So everybody is welcome to join. Sign up for the newsletter, what we're doing, and give your suggestions. So we're here for all of you. That's it.
Awesome. Yes. And I will say that the history of this water salon grows out of the annual conference convened by Dr. Gerald Pollack. I think that's on its 16th year. It is the conference on the biology, chemistry, and physics of water. And during this 16-year period, we've slowly begun to realize that we want to be meeting more than once a year. We're trying to find ways to gather intermittently and to bring out new ideas. I would like to say, and that's the purpose of these water salons, that's how we decided to do them. And I will say that although this is, it's growing organically out of a science conference, the conversation here is not limited to science. So please don't feel like you have to have a very sciencey mind or a science background. We just use that as a place to start a larger conversation about water, which is exciting. And the more we have fluid, communal, collective conversations about water, I think the more we're going to find out about that. So we wanted to share what the origin of that is. Now, I just want to say a little bit about what a water salon is, what a salon is. That's really important. So in the lineage, which you are now joining, of salons, which is a beautiful lineage, the salon idea was always the definition of salon is a reception room. It's literally a room where someone new would come to town, say Vienna or Berlin or London or New York, and some person, often a lady in the community, would open up her home. Reception rooms were made for these purposes, especially during the 1700s, to invite people who were passing through to share their ideas, and you came to the salon to hear new things. So that is what we are doing here, and we are here to be receiving new ideas and meeting each other. So part of the salon, the work of the salon, was back conversations and that person over there, and I'm going to just go introduce myself. And we would like that same energy involved in this, so that use the chat, find each other, spot each other, send a message. This is just imagine that you're turning to the person sitting next to you on some beautiful upholstered fabric or couch, and you're like, what are you doing here? We are here to find new ideas, receive new ideas, and listen. So how we go about that, listening, is really the receiving part, is what I really want to focus on today, because it's also part of our theme. about water and sound. And receiving turns out to be really important. So the listening part is extremely a contribution you're making to this room, such that I'm going to just do the salon follows the same format every time. We're going to have a little introduction, remind ourselves what a salon is, introduce the topic, short or long. I'll keep it really short this time so we have more time, and then I'll help lead us in a conversation. We can, Everin will help me, raise a hand and call on people. And of course, not everyone is going to have a chance to talk, because we're not here to just talk. We're here to receive. So that's exciting, because you can just release now and be like, I'm in a beautiful chintz chair. I'm surrounded now by people who have a high interest in water. And we're just going to raise a topic today around sound and water and what that relationship could be. So again, this is an opportunity to meet, to mingle. We don't know how to facilitate that. We hope you find your way through how you're going to reach out and touch somebody, or leave your contact information in the chat if you feel comfortable doing that, to meet and mingle. And of course, you're always welcome to bring your neighbor, to bring somebody else who's interested in water anytime. We are a big room and an open room. And what we want to do is leave this room with some new ideas, and to receive thoughts, perceptions, ideas that you hadn't had before. So, and then we close the salon with a small act that embodies something on the theme of what we've been talking about. And so to exit our time together, I just wanted to share about last time what our exit practice was. So I hate to call it a practice, because there's no word for these things. A little embodying act. Last time we got off our salon with the idea that you could touch water under the running faucet or in a stream or however it happens, and then touch your eyelids and just to see water a little bit better, or bless yourself or bless someone else. And I wanted to tell you just a quick story, because this summer I've been with my brand new granddaughter. She's I think almost 2.5 now, and we were going by a fountain on a cobblestone street, and she reached over, put her fingertips in the water, and she touched her eyes, and then she called me over and touched mine. And I was so touched. I just wanted to share that these little acts that we're trying to embody at the end of our salon have their own life after we close our collective time together. And I wanted to see if maybe one person could share now whether they embodied this little act that we did last time when we closed our salon. I thought we could just take a minute and see if anybody had any experiences with touching their fingertips or their eyes, their eyelids with water. Just raise your hand if you'd like to share. Okay, well, you got my story. I love that we are embodying this idea of tiny acts at the end of our salon so that we walk away. And I have one for you for this one. So let's see. Our theme for this salon is water and sound, and the relationship of water and sound. And it's a big topic. And I would like to open by saying that sound is a formation that let me gather my right words, because I want to convey this well. We're now in the context of sound as information, and that somehow the relationship of sound to water shapes that information. And experiencing that water is the most sensitive medium that we know on this planet, maybe cosmos, for organizing and receiving the incoming information. So we want to think about sound as incoming information that then touches water, and then water does another level, another stratification of action on that sound, whether it's simple amplification or whether it's actually dynamic shaping of that information, whether it's materializing information, helping it become an actual biology, a material product. We don't know, but that's the idea we're working with, that we want to share and talk about it. And so I thought I would bring two science studies. Again, this conversation doesn't have to be on science. We actually hope it's more than that. But it is starting at science is a great place to leap off. So there's two science papers that I wanted to bring to your attention. The first one came out in 2017. It's a huge paper, and I wanted everyone to know about it, and I want it to be spread widely, and it is showing up at science conferences. But in 2017, a group at Cornell University discovered using a refractive device. This time, these are microscopes that actually shoot laser beams and allow us to see things that we weren't able to see before, because they are doing like cross polarization. That's a very simple explanation. But what they discovered is that DNA has something called a spine of hydration. Now, this, of course, came right up on my Google, because I have a notification for every time the word hydration appears in the world. So I knew about this study early on. And how I want to bring it into this conversation is to say this hydration spine around DNA, I want you to think about it as, what if that got dehydrated? What would that do to the DNA? It's possible from the thinking about this study that the new thought here for us to think about is that spine of hydration, that water surrounding the DNA, is actually shaping, forming the information that comes out. So that is one way to think about the relationship between water and sound. The second, and then and think about both high dehydration, what that would do to the DNA and how that would collapse, or what a well-hydrated DNA molecule would be like, what it would be capable of. And then the second study, it came out in 2011. It's a bit earlier. It's also a very well-known study, but I don't think we talk about it or think about it enough. And that is that the DNA itself has been identified as a kind of antenna, just simply an antenna. And now again, we have another way to help ourselves shape the conversation around information coming in, being received by the DNA through this spine of hydration. And that sound, then, this information coming in through sound plays into, literally, think of the DNA as a harpsichord or a musical instrument in which all those orchestrations are going on. So those two ideas, that we have so many antennas inside of us, and that they are receiving sound information, because we can talk about sound as incoming information. So that's about all I wanted to present, because if I stop my part of yakking and I give the floor over to collecting how this idea lands for you in your thinking or in your studies, or what you might want to contribute to this conversation, that water conducts sound, water orchestrates sound, water shapes sound, and so what? It turns out sound is driving biological information. So that's my salvo to you. That's the start of our conversation today. So I'm sure there are people here who would love to respond to that. Everin, can you organize raised hands and send us forth, okay?
Yeah. So everybody just raises their hand like this, and you can ask. Yeah. And the links are in the chat, by the way. Candice, you can. I'll open your mic. Yeah, you can talk now.
Hello from Victoria.
Hello, Candice.
Lovely to see everyone again. I'm just delighted with this opportunity to talk about water because
Yes.
I'm very excited when that happens. I physically can actually feel that. So there's a couple of things. One of the places where this really made a lot of sense to me in terms of water having memory and intelligence was, and of course, everything is vibrations. That's kind of the basis of life as well. So it also makes sense, the connection to water. But when there was an awareness that our brain was not the only thing thinking for us, and it moved to cellular intelligence. And so then, but there was no explanation for what cellular intelligence was. But the connection that I made to that was that our cells are comprised of water. And that's where the intelligence lies. It's within the water. And of course, we're kind of antennas for vibrations, and sound is vibrations. So that all makes perfect sense to me. It was just delightful to come upon that information and then have it reaffirmed here. The only experiment I can say that I've done with sound is that I have a Tibetan singing bowl that is brass, and I filled it with water and hit around the outside of the bowl with a mallet, and it made the water behave like a fountain in the bowl. So it wasn't a typical, it wasn't making the water form a wave. It actually bubbled up like effervescence. So that's the only experiment I've done with sound myself, but I found it interesting.
I love that experiment, and I love the fact that watching the waves move across the water is a perfect biological picture, right? We're right there in front of our eyes. We're seeing how water and sound interact. That is great. I might call on someone, Everett.
Maria would like to say something, and you can call on someone. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. I've unmuted you, Maria, but we don't. Oh, maybe you have muted yourself. I'll unmute you again. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now. Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Everina. Hi, Gina. Hi, all the rest. I don't know all of you. From Holland, Rotterdam. I have two interesting things. And the first one I learned actually a few weeks ago, and it was inspired by Veda Austin. And because I made a little film, The Secrets of Water, but I didn't get it actually until a few weeks ago when I had a retreat in Holland, and when people were crying, I made the insight that the water we cry is the perfect salt solution as our where we come from. So where all minerals are absolutely the same amount as they should be. And instead of wiping the tears away, I invited the participants to drink the tears,
Awesome.
because it's actually like if we do in the morning our solar drink, we can drink our tears. And I found that so interesting. I've never came up with the idea. So now I'm grateful when I have a tear. I make a circle with that. And the other one with the vibration, I've got a wonderful thing. Every year I go to Austria, and they have in the sauna there, because we are sitting with the big hotel on top of a source, a water source. And next to the water source, it has a copper pot with water in it, or is it another material? But it looks golden, and if you touch the handles, it makes a wonderful sound, but the water starts dancing. And that's amazing. I'm like a little kid. I'm just, oh, look at this. And when you put your hand in the water, it you feel the vibration. You feel like it going through your body. It's amazing. It's
How playful, how delightful. I
yeah.
love hearing about touching your tears too. I now will do that, make sure that's part of my action after my exit action from this conversation.
Oh,
I think
nice.
it's delicious. And Candace too, thank you for reminding us that some of these things we are hearing together. It's not that we don't know them and we can't say to ourselves, oh, I already knew that. No, it's that we're hearing that other people are hearing this, and that is exciting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everin, anybody else?
No, you can point to the person you wanted to point to.
Well, I know we have Eric here. I wonder if you might reflect with us, Eric, because you're a man who's been investigating water and sound for a while, and I'd love to have some thoughts from you for this salon.
Oh, I will unmute you, Eric. Wait. Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Hi, nice to see you again, Gina. Nice to see everybody. Actually, I'm also from the Netherlands, but I'm now in Austria. So beautiful mountains over here. Well, yes, I think we have to rethink how our body listens. I was very pleased, Gina, when they told that, that we have the water shell around our DNA, and that actually our DNA is listening constantly to the outside world. What's happening over there. There are many ways, probably, how our body listens to sound. Well, we learned at school that we have ears, the usual thing, how a sound comes to us, but there's a lot more. For example, we have the trachea, which is, the bit part in front of your ear, which actually is the first branch of your nervus vagus. And that one is in straight connection with your nervus vagus. And we all know what the nervus vagus, it's a connection between your brain, your heart, all the intestines, everything. And also what a lot of people don't know, that we have actually melanin in our ears. Melanin, what gives you the brown skin, so not melatonin, but melanin. And actually melanin is one of the most, besides of water, it works together with water in a beautiful way, and with the mitochondria. And melanin actually is capable of receiving all the information there is. Everything from electromagnetic spectrum, from the ultra low frequencies up to the ultra high frequencies. It can translate everything into biological energy and also sound. And that's quite new, that actually, so we have melanin in our ears, and it's been translated, so sound, into light. Same thing in your nose. You smell through light, you hear through light. And other ways how it comes to your body, of course, is through the fascia, because our fascia, your beautiful moves about that fascia, Gina, so you know a lot about it. But actually, when sound hits the fascia, comes into your body, what it does actually it can give light through what is called triboluminescence. That's when you have like
that word again, Eric. Spell it for me.
CRIBU and then luminescence. That means like when you have stones and when you press them, they give light.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah. And that's a form and how information, sound is being translated again into light into your body. And another way is piezoelectricity. Also, more or less the same way. When you press stones like with a lighter, it gives light. Also, sound does that into your fascia. And we all know fascia, contains a lot of water. To me, the fascia is actually the whole meridian system. It's where information being run on the water system. Like the how do you call it in English? What we use in the computer, the lights where all the information is on.
Mm-hmm.
The fiber. I cannot remember the name. But anyway, that's another way how it gets into your body. And like you said, the DNA actually listens constantly. And we only think about melanin, go back to melanin again, that it is, only in your ears, but actually it seems to be everywhere in every cell in your body. And so it can pick up the sound information from there. So it's straightforward into every cell. It can listen to the sounds outside. Even mitochondria seem to do that. They found now a new kind of mitochondria in blood, which also can reflect on everything what is outside, all the electromagnetic information, and also on sound. And of course, we know about the work of John Stuart Reid that sound creates geometrical forms, all kind of waveforms inside of the body. So when everything comes together, as far as I know, in water, I mean, melanin can break down water in H2, oxygen and electrons, and mitochondria produce water. They all work perfectly together. I mean, it's too short time now to try to explain it all, but it's one beautiful thing how everything works together. So sound comes into your body in many ways. Even your bones, with a lot of collagen inside, is capable of listening to the sounds outside. So to me, there is no better way to heal the body than with sound. And I mean, also to destroy the body with wrong sounds. That's another story of it. So sound and water, it's the most beautiful mix, the perfect mix there is to me.
Eric, I heard two things that you said that I think are new ideas to take from this salon, right? So we want to be sharing new ideas. One is this idea that sound makes light.
Yeah. Even John Stuart Reid said that that sound has been converted into infrared light.
Yes, and I think it matches Dr. Pollack's work as well. But
exactly,
I think that shortened version of how we want to give this information and walk out of this room today, going, I have to go away and think about how the fact that sound is capable of making light, and I really need to now hold that and think about it as a new thought, which is going to drive how I think about my body, how I think about sound coming in, as you say, destructive sound versus good sound. And also the other idea that you elicited for me is there's other things inside of us listening as well.
Yeah.
It isn't just us that are listening. Inside of me, my mitochondria are listening, my bacteria are listening, my microbiome is listening. And I'm really fascinated with this idea as a self-community that's run on sound and light and water. That's enough for me to say. Let's hear from someone else. Everin, who else is raising their hand?
Yeah, Nobody is raising their hand, but water woman Kimberly, whom I know, and she's writing some things in the chat, and maybe she feels like sharing it also to everybody. Shall I unmute you, Kimberly?
No.
Go ahead, Kimberly.
No, that's okay. I'm
That's
good.
okay. Everybody can read what she says in the chat. So she says water is the origin, and then I mean, well, I'd love to hear you say it, but that's okay.
Evelyn, could I
Yeah, go ahead.
because I since the light nourishment process I went through in 2018, I really noticed that my body has changed, and that for me, all breadcrumbs come together. For me, the fascia is the motorway of life, and the light, the water, and the sound are just the the motor and the petrol. So there is no difference anymore. It's like my last name is Newveld. It's the new field. So for me, those three, the light, the water, and the vibration, so the sound, is the field, and it's just acting um, in different ways, and that is how we perceive the light, or we perceive the water, because water is the tangible part of light, of the field. You can touch it. I think there is no difference between water and the field. It's the tangible part of that. But that's I'm like a little kid exploring life and the field in my body, and I'm just stunned at what my body does, and that it looks at the world completely different than 6 years ago. So yeah, I don't know how you experience that and how you see that. So I would love to hear your inputs on that.
I will say a big moment for me was listening to John Stewart Reed, who is doing quite a bit of work in this field. Very exciting. I hope you find his work. REID, John Stewart, STUART. Delicious, delicious stuff. But he said, I guess this would have been 3 or 4 years ago in his experimental work at his lab in England, that his independent lab, by the way, because we have to, make our way in this field by ourselves so often, that maybe the heart's more than a pump, maybe the pump isn't as interesting as the thump of the heart. Actually orchestrating and then sending out all of these energetic signals. And I just got so excited about that, because as an anthropologist, we're very alert to the percussion as a universal language. And percussing involves not only drumming and playing, but the percussion of walking even. And then you match that up with the heart's percussion, and how our bodies run are way different and very, very exciting. So in other words, how do we take care of ourselves as bodies? That's, this is my responsibility. This is the gift I got. And falling in love with this one is the work of this round, right? That this is the body I get to love and care for and find out about and explore and discover. So yeah, I'm also finding a real shift in experiencing my own body as these ideas come into my life, and I'm in a reception room like this where I'm receiving new ideas about, and I'm listening to them. So does anybody else want to comment? We have a few minutes left to talk.
Anybody wants to say something? Otherwise, yeah, I mean, in my experience, and even going to the theory that can explain a lot, sound is definitely able physically to do a lot of organizing in the human body and in the water. But also during my studies, when we were thinking about what was actually happening in a lot of treatments and water treatments, I realized there's a lot of sound going on. So there might be a lot of treatments that think there's only vortexing going on, but actually there might be in the cavity of these things also a lot of sound effects that we are not looking at as an explicit factor that does something to water. So that's more like what I had years back when I started to think sound is important, and the fact that it carries so well in water. I mean, it must mean something because sound travels so fast and so deep in water that probably it's more important than a lot of other stuff that's happening in our bodies. So, and of course, yeah, like you were saying, the rhythm and the music, it has a big impact on your system. So, yeah, and experienced it with Maria in some of her retreats, and with Gina, it's always the music that tries to uplift us. So, yeah, and information medicine is now something that Eric is spreading, and it has an effect if you feel the sound on the body. So that's also actually studied. So more things are really being shown now.
Yeah, Everin, of course, you made me think of bubbles, right?
Yeah.
The vortexing increases the bubbles, and John Stuart Reed is saying that these bubbles explode, and that is a big sound that then drives light. The what does he call it? Inelastic collisions of bubbles.
Yeah.
That make this sound. So there's sounds that we're not hearing. That's why I love what Eric was saying, that there's other things listening inside of us that we aren't even aware of. That's very exciting. But that just means water's bubbling and champagning. We're champagne inside.
Yeah.
That
So
should cheer us up.
I see Candice and Beverly who want to say something.
Yes, please.
So
Hi, Candice. Hi, Candice.
Candice quickly, and then Beverly, and
Yes. Oh, Candice, you have to turn your mic on.
I will do it. Yeah, Candice, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, Everine, you mentioned a number of interesting points there. Do you have suggested sources to explore that you could email us, or it's a long time between water salons.
Yeah. I will try to find some, and I know Eric has some studies, preliminary.
Oh, that would be good.
But we can. I'll try to collect some of those and then send them in the World Water Community space. We can create a discussion where you can find what I sent. If you're in the water community, it's free. You can find it. So
good. Thank
great.
you very much.
Yeah, great. Beverly, or I'm just saying it's Beverly. Maybe it's Bev.
Yes, it's Beverly. It's all fine.
Hello, Bev.
Hello. I attended last month and this month. It's very exciting. I just wanted to say that for me, being in presence with you, if it could just slow down a little bit, because I feel chaotic. It's overstimulating. If we could just slow down a little, it would be lovely. I did want to share at the beginning, I think there's so much in our ancestral knowledge that we're losing. I remember when I was a child, my grandmother, my boobie, would do a prayer and splash water in her eyes, and I did it. And then it was gone. And now when I'm in my late 70s, I've started to every morning and during the day as well, just doing thankful. And as I splash my eyes, thank you, Mamala, thank you, Daddy, right across, and ending with thank you, Mother Earth, thank you, Father Sky, thank you, Grandmother Moon, thank you, Grandfather Sun. And it's just, I want to be able to get the knowledge of my ancestors and from your ancestors, as well as all this very exciting, interesting, deep learning. So thank you very much.
Oh, Bev, I'm so touched. Thank you for that. And I will slow down. I get excited, but I remember that it helps to hear more slowly. So I'll take your advising. Thank you. Anyone else? That was lovely, Bev. Okay, for our closing, we have I can't help but respond, Bev. I've got to say, I just left my granddaughter, the one who is practicing this, right? And I'm an anthropologist, right? So I studied ritual all over the world. I believe in ritual. I think it has power way beyond language and way beyond what we think is happening. And ritual allows those other voices to get in there and talk to us. And as I'm leaving her, I decided, oh, I should have a grandmother talk with her. I should have a leaving grandmother talk when I say goodbye for some time, not a daily. I've left for a month. And so I told her, she snuggled up, she's sucking her thumb, she's 2.5. And I'm saying to her, okay, so this is a grandmother granddaughter talk. And it's my job to say to you before I leave to tell you the next thing you need to know. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know what to say. What's the next thing she needs to know? I'm making this up as we're going along. And suddenly it just came to me, tell her to say thank you. Tell her to say thank you to all, when she lays down at night, say thank you to all the things you could think of to say thank you for. Your mama, the moon, your toes. So I think you must have sent me that message even before we met today. I must have gotten that from you, Bev, in the field. Thank you. Thank you so much. So for our practice, I mean, I will reiterate that I think one of the exciting, I heard some wonderful things today. One, taste your tears. I love that. Taste your tears. I heard that putting together vibration and water and sound is magic for many of you, and that we affirm to each other that this is a pathway to take to find out more, and we're on that pathway. And I heard that sound turns into light through bubbles. It's one way, and that all that is bubbling up inside of us. And I heard that other things are listening to us. Our mitochondria, bless them. I don't get a chance to say thank you, mitochondria, very often, but I think in this group we can pull that off. So the practice I wanted to pass on to you, we won't do it today, but I'm going to send you off with this opportunity, is I thought it would be, since most of us have phones or some way to record our own voice. Just say a few words to yourself on your phone, record it, and then listen back so that you have a chance to hear your voice and hear how it resonates in this chamber, and then what it sounds like when it goes out and comes back to you. And I think the reason I wanted to share this practice with you is because I think we are leaving untapped vast amounts of capacities within ourselves, and that we can begin to ignite or activate new perceptive abilities, that we want to get more perception going on. And I think this nexus of water, hydration, light, and sound is somehow how we're going to bring online dormant things within us. So take some time to record your voice. Could be outdoors, could be indoors, on your phone. Think about a few choice words you want to say, or hum, or a song. Just sound, and then play it back so you have some kind of a loop going on, just to enhance your knowledge of your own voice and see what else it can be saying back to you. So that's our salon. We begin and end on time. I can't believe we did it, but we did it. Our next salon is what, Everin? It's the first Thursday of the month. Is that what we decided? We changed the time a little bit. So first Thursday of the month.
It's September 4th.
Oh, a great day. Good. September 4th. And with the topic we thought would be on consciousness, because it's such a hot topic right now. Is water conscious? Does water drive consciousness? What the heck is consciousness? There was just a very big meeting in Barcelona a month ago on consciousness, and for the first time they had speakers talking about the relationship of water to consciousness. So let's bring some of that forward, and we'll see you September 4th.
Thank you.
Yes, pleasure. Love to all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.